Welcome my dear listeners, stay with me to get the spoilers first. And subscribe to the channel. Let's find out what's going to happen on The Young and the Restless. Victoria is horrified when Claire gives Cole poison to keep the secret. The Newman family has been through betrayal, tragedy, and enough lies to fill 100 boardrooms, but nothing can prepare Victoria Newman for what she sees when the truth finally comes out. What starts out as another tense, private moment between Claire and Cole turns into something much worse. Something so shocking that Victoria can barely handle it in real time. This spoiler story says that Victoria is horrified to see Claire give Cole poison in a last-ditch effort to keep a secret. And once she sees it, there's no turning back. This kind of news shakes a family to its core because it's not just about a secret anymore. It depends on how far someone is willing to go to keep it safe. It's about fear, loyalty, panic, and the terrifying thought that one bad decision could ruin everything. Claire has already been through a lot of emotional pain, and Cole has been both a source of comfort and stress for her. But now Victoria has to look at a part of the situation that is so extreme, reckless, and dangerous that it changes everything she thought she knew. Victoria's nightmare begins with doubt. For a while now something has been wrong. Claire has been more closed off than usual, her feelings have been all over the place, and Cole has been acting like a man who has a heavy load that gets heavier every day. Victoria has tried to put her faith in the people she cares about. She has tried to believe that no matter what happens, it can be dealt with quietly, calmly, and without breaking up the family. But Genoa City has never shown mercy to hope, and the truth finally hits her when she least expects it. Victoria sees Claire and Cole together in a private moment that doesn't seem right. There is a lot of tension in the room right away. Cole looks nervous, like he knows the conversation has gone too far. Claire, on the other hand, is acting with a kind of grim determination that makes Victoria shiver. Victoria can't help but notice the look in her eyes. Looks like someone who thinks the only way out is to do something awful. Then Victoria sees it. Claire gives Cole poison. At first the scene doesn't seem real because it happens too fast. Victoria is watching from a distance, trying to figure out what's going on with the tension. The next thing she knows exactly what she's seeing and freezes in fear. Claire isn't just making Cole feel bad. She is trying to keep something from coming out by making sure Cole can't talk. The poison is the last act of desperation, the insurance policy, and the terrible way Claire has chosen to keep the truth from coming out. Victoria is shocked. Totally. She can't even respond at first because the scene is so different from what she thought Claire would do. This isn't a little lie or a trick. This is toxic. This is the plan. This is the kind of thing that can't be undone once it's done. But Claire does it anyway. Because she thinks the secret is worth that much. That is what makes the moment so terrible. Claire doesn't act like a bad guy in a cartoon. She is acting like someone who is scared of what will happen if the truth comes out. She believes that this secret could ruin lives, bring out hidden pain, or tear apart the last bits of peace in the family. In her panic she goes too far and can't go back. Victoria is left to deal with the shock of realizing that her daughter has gone from hiding the truth to using it as a weapon as she stands there and watches it all. Victoria feels the emotional effects right away and they are too much to handle. Claire is not just a young woman who is in a bad place. Victoria is her mother. That makes the horror real for you. Victoria's first reaction isn't anger, but that comes quickly enough. Breaks my heart. She sees the fear in Claire's eyes, the panic, and the feeling that this wasn't a cold, planned act done without feeling. Claire looks like a woman who has made herself believe that this is the only way to stay alive in the disaster that is closing in on her. That doesn't make the act any less scary though. Victoria's mind is racing as she tries to figure out how this could have happened. What secret is so dangerous that Claire would poison Cole to keep it from coming out? What has everyone been keeping from me? How long has this been going on? And what does Claire want Cole to stop saying so badly? The problem is that once poison is involved, no one can just talk their way out of it. Victoria knows that right away. She also knows that if she tells anyone about what she just saw, the whole family could blow up. Claire might get arrested. Cole might be fighting for his life. And the secret Claire is trying to hide could come out anyway, but this time it would be wrapped in an even worse tragedy. That understanding makes the moment even harder to deal with. Victoria is scared, yes, but she's also stuck in that awful soap opera space where every choice seems to make things worse. Claire, on the other hand, is not acting out of the blue. Whatever secret she thinks she needs to keep hidden has been making her go crazy. It might have something to do with family history. It could be linked to something that could hurt Victoria directly. Claire thinks that maybe it has something to do with the past that no one else can hear. Claire clearly feels trapped no matter what the secret is. She might have told herself that Cole was about to tell everyone the truth, that he had already picked the wrong side, or that there was no way to keep the family together if the truth came out. That kind of panic is what makes a bad idea into a terrible one. Claire probably tells herself that the poison won't last long. That Cole will be confused but not hurt. That she is just buying time. That she is keeping everyone safe from things they can't handle. But poison is still poison. As soon as it is given, the reason for it doesn't matter anymore. Victoria only sees the act itself, and that act is enough to change everything she thought she knew about her daughter. Victoria has a choice now too. She can confront Claire right away, which could set off a chain reaction that reveals the whole mess. Or she can wait, gather what she knows, and try to figure out how deep the secret goes before she acts. Both options are bad. There are consequences to both choices. And either choice puts Victoria in the kind of nightmare that every mother has tried to avoid her whole life. The moment when she has to protect her child from herself. If Claire thinks she has been seen, the scene between Victoria and Claire gets even more emotional. That changes things right away. Claire would know that Victoria could ruin everything. She could get even more scared. She could say no. She might beg. She might try to say that she was trapped and had no choice. But after Victoria sees the poison exchange, everything Claire says after that will sound like she's trying to fix things. Cole, on the other hand, is now the center of the danger. If he has been poisoned, his health is now in danger. But in soap operas, the emotional danger is just as important. Cole is not only a victim. He may also be the person who knows the secret that Claire is willing to kill to keep. That means that he might have to stay alive in order to find out what's really going on. There is a chance the truth will come out if he lives. Claire might think she has won if he dies or gets too weak to talk. Victoria knows this too, and it only makes her more scared. In a classic The Young and the Restless way, this is where the story gets beautifully cruel. Victoria isn't just watching her daughter make a bad choice. She is seeing the whole family crisis turn into something she can't stop on her own. Claire's poison isn't just a show. It shows how fear can turn love into violence. Claire might think she's keeping the family safe. Instead, she is breaking it up from the inside. And the worst part is that Victoria can probably see the love behind the craziness. That doesn't make anything okay. It makes things worse. Claire isn't acting like someone who hates Cole or wants to hurt him for fun. She is acting like someone who is scared of losing control. Someone who thinks that one secret could break the weak ties she has been trying to keep. Someone who would rather kill a man than let the truth ruin the world she has worked so hard to build. It's sad to be that desperate. It is also dangerous enough to end lives. Victoria has to deal with all of that in a few seconds. She looks at her daughter. She sees the toxic substance. She sees Cole. And she knows that her family has crossed a line. That's when the horror really hits home. This isn't just about stopping a crime for Victoria. It's about realizing how badly everything has gone wrong. In that moment, Claire is someone Victoria barely knows, and Cole may be in danger right away because of a secret none of them can name yet. The situation is no longer about family problems. Now it's a full-blown crisis. Victoria could save Cole and stop Claire from making things worse if she steps in. But that intervention could also reveal the secret right away, which could bring to light lies, betrayals, and deeper wounds that the family isn't ready to deal with yet. Claire might go even further down a path she can't come back from if she waits. That's the beauty and the pain of the setup. Every move feels like a loss. And of course, since Genoa City is what it is, the secret is probably not small. It could be one of those classic soap opera twists that explains why everyone has been acting so weird, why emotions have been so high, and why Claire is willing to go to such extremes. The fact that she chose poison shows that the secret is more than just embarrassing. It changes who you are, changes your life, and is probably explosive enough to end several relationships at once. Victoria has been trying for years to keep the Newman family from falling apart, but now she knows she may be too late to stop the damage. Claire has already gone too far. Cole is already in danger. Now the secret is a matter of life and death. What happens next will depend on whether Victoria decides to confront Claire directly, quietly warn Cole, or try to find out the whole truth before doing anything. But the damage to your feelings has already been done. She has seen enough to know that things are no longer stable. They are not safe. This spoiler story is so powerful because of that. It takes the usual soap opera elements of family, secrets, fear, guilt, and betrayal and pushes them into the darkest possible place. Victoria was already concerned about Claire. Now she's scared. And not because Claire was lying. Claire poisoned Cole to keep the secret from getting out. That line changes everything. It makes Victoria see Claire in a different light. It makes her think differently about Cole. It changes what she has to do next. And it raises the stakes for everyone in the family. Secrets always come out in Genoa City. This time though the price could be blood, betrayal, and a family that will never be the same because of one terrible choice. Victoria has seen enough to know that the truth is no longer a question of when. Who lives long enough to tell it is the question. Who really had hair on that brush? Claire Newman's DNA test isn't selling well with fans. It's easy to ask and hard to shake the young and the restless fan theory that's going around Genoa City right now. Whose hair was really on that brush? When Cole Howard got DNA from things at the lake house instead of taking a direct sample from Claire Grace, the show left a very clear opening. Then to make sure viewers remembered one very important detail, Claire had brushed Nikki Newman's hair while they were both there. That's why fans aren't sure that the DNA test really proved what Cole thinks it did. The first setup was already strange enough to make people squint. Cole and Victoria didn't just swab Claire and get a clear answer. Instead, Victoria and Cole talked about the possibility that Claire could be their biological daughter. Michael suggested that they look for things at Jordan's house, like a hairbrush, lipstick, or a cup, that might have Claire's DNA on them. Cole then went to the lake house to collect what he thought were usable samples. That choice alone made it possible for a mix-up, a tampering twist, or a sample to be taken from the wrong person. And that's where the brush becomes the whole story. Celeb Dirty Laundry's December 2023 spoiler piece said that Cole didn't just ask Claire for a clean, direct DNA sample. He took the harder route of getting things from the lake house, and the article made sure to remind readers that Claire had brushed Nikki's hair while they were both held there. That detail is important because it makes the perfect soap opening for a sample swap, an accidental contamination, or a results sheet that says more about Nikki than it does about Claire. Fans have been asking that same question ever since. If Claire brushed Nikki's hair, was the brush really Claire's or was it full of Nikki's hair? If it was Nikki's, then the test might have shown that Victoria and Newman were related without actually proving that Claire was the one in question. Soap viewers love that kind of technical twist because it sounds small at first, but then you realize that one grooming scene and one collected brush could hold up the whole family tree. This is just a theory, not a confirmed plot point, but the show definitely left the door open for it. The show's own history of recaps makes the suspicion even stronger. In its December 2023 recap, Soap Central says that Cole swiped Claire's DNA. It goes on to say that Michael suggested looking for DNA in Claire's hairbrush or other things in the house. The writers on purpose made the test based on indirect evidence instead of a clear direct sample. That doesn't prove the test was wrong, but it does mean that there was a chance of a mistake from the start. The same summary also shows how carefully the story was written to deal with uncertainty. Victoria said that she and Cole hadn't thought about what would happen if Claire really was their biological child, and Michael warned that Claire might still be dangerous even if the test showed a biological link. The emotional point was never just, is Claire a Newman? It was also, what if everyone is wrong about what the test means? That is why the brush theory fits so well with the drama that is already there. The whole plot was made to keep one foot in hope and one foot in doubt. The 2024 sequel to Celeb Dirty Laundry opened that door even wider. The article said that the test always seemed a bit iffy, because Cole got the sample from the lake house instead of from Claire directly. It also said that if Cole found Nikki's hairbrush and used it to make the result that Victoria saw, the mother-daughter match could have been based on Nikki's DNA instead of Claire's. The article even said that tampering or a simple lab mistake could have happened. The main point of the fan theory is that the test might have been true for someone, but not the person everyone thinks it was. That thought changes Cole's role a lot. If he knew the result was shaky and still gave Victoria a version of the truth she could live with, he wasn't just a hopeful father. He was a man protecting a family fantasy. The 2023 CDill article openly speculated that Cole might have felt like Victoria and Claire both needed this to be true, and could have gone to great lengths to keep Victoria from getting hurt. It even said that Cole might have faked his own result to make Victoria believe the lie. That doesn't prove anything, but soap fans know that emotional reasons can lead to a long con. That motive is important because it would explain why Cole did everything himself. He had every reason to control the sample, the report, and the story around the report if he was afraid of hurting Victoria's feelings. If he took Claire's DNA from the lake house but accidentally grabbed Nikki's brush, he might have told himself that the result was close enough or that the family bond was more important than the biology. That would make Cole less of a bad guy and more of a man who chose emotional truth over scientific truth. This is the kind of messy choice that daytime soaps love to use as a weapon later. But the other option is even more exciting. Maybe Cole didn't mess up and that's why the audience should keep looking at the brush. If Nikki's hair got on that brush or if Claire's contact with Nikki was enough to contaminate the sample, then what Victoria saw on her phone might not have been a direct statement about Claire at all. It could have been an echo of the lake house scene, which is the kind of silly forensic stuff that soaps love because it lets one prop carry a whole season's worth of emotional fallout. That is just a guess, but the fact that both articles keep bringing up the hairbrush as the main piece of evidence backs it up. When you think about what the show had already done with Claire, the fan theory gets even stronger. The writers of the March 2024 CDL piece were already suggesting that Claire might spin out if she found out there had been a DNA mistake. The article said that if Claire found out she wasn't a Newman after all, she might go off the rails again and prove Adam's earlier warning about her dark streak right. That means the show had already set off the emotional fuse. The DNA question isn't just a puzzle about Claire's family tree. It's also a bomb that will blow up her identity. Fans keep asking, whose hair, instead of just accepting the answer because of this. If Claire is really Victoria and Cole's daughter, then the test is the basis for one type of story. A first daughter who was hurt, saved, and slowly healed on her way home. But if the brush belonged to Nikki or if the test was messed up in any way, the story changes completely. Claire may still be very close to the Newmans because of trauma and loyalty, but the bloodline itself is now unclear, and that uncertainty can destroy any relationship built on it. There is also a very soap-specific reason why this theory won't die. Cole was the one who put the results together. The 2023 recap says that Cole and Victoria had only recently talked about whether Claire was their baby. Michael kept saying that they needed to think about the possibility that Jordan had been controlling Claire since she was born. But Cole is the one who got samples from the lake house again, and Cole is the only one who saw the results. That means that the audience can't be sure what was really on the page. In soap language, that doesn't mean don't worry. There is a red flag with a bow on it. If the brush really did have Nikki's hair, the results would be deliciously messy. Victoria's result might have been partly a match because the sample came from her mother instead of Claire. Cole might have thought that the truth about the family was more important than the truth about the lab. Or the lab could have given Cole a result that he thought was unclear, and he just decided to present it as certain. In either case, the brush shows how easily proof can turn into emotional need. That's the real reason the theory works so well. It doesn't just ask if someone messed up with a sample. It asks what everyone wanted the outcome to be. Victoria wanted to have a girl. Cole wanted to keep Victoria from hurting. Claire wanted to fit in. Nikki wanted to keep the Newmans safe from whatever Jordan had done. Michael wanted to know the truth before anyone else made a bigger mistake. So the brush isn't just proof. It is a pressure point where everyone's hopes and fears got mixed up, and no one had the guts to sort them out. This fan theory keeps getting more popular because it fits the facts that the show did show and explains why those facts still seem a little too neat. Cole took things out of the lake house. Claire brushed Nikki's hair. Cole was the only one who saw the results. There was enough room for a future retcon in the show, and the articles themselves say that the writers could still make Claire not a Newman if they wanted to. The brush was never just a brush, in other words. It was a piece of bread. So whose hair was really on that brush? The safest answer is the one that fans keep whispering. Nikki's, or at least enough of Nikki's to make the result look suspicious. The more direct answer is that the show did it on purpose because ambiguity is what keeps a soap twist alive long after the DNA test. Cole could have rigged it, made a mistake, or just picked the story he wanted to believe. The brush is still the only small thing that could blow the whole parentage reveal open again. If the writers ever decide to pull on that thread, the results could be huge. If Claire's Newman identity falls apart, she could go crazy. Victoria might have to choose between biology and bond. Cole could be shown to be a liar or a protector. And Nikki, whose hair seemed to be in the middle of everything, could accidentally hold the key to a secret that no one thought she would. For now, the theory is still out there, just where soap fans want it to be.